Well, happy Saturday or happy whatever day you might be watching this if you're watching the recording. My name's Amy Sullivan and with Aspire Zen, and I'm a yoga teacher. I'm also a health and nutrition coach. And it's the middle of summer here in the Northern Hemisphere, and so I thought we would do a sequence today that revolves around cooling and just really getting into those aspects of the asana practice and also our breathing practice that can help us cool our bodies down, be a little bit more calm, and combat some of that outside elements of heat that sometimes can be kind of frustrating. Some people love it, some people hate it. So we're gonna learn some cooling techniques with breath, and we're actually gonna take a pretty mellow, slow cooling flow with some poses that also help your body cool down. And then you have those tools in your toolbox should you decide that you need cooling on your own later on. So we're gonna begin our practice today in Sukhasana, so just seated in a nice, easy, simple pose. So for you, that might mean cross-legged. It might mean sitting in a chair for the first couple. I'm going to hold off on sitting down myself for just a minute because I want to show you a close-up of what we're going to do with our mouth for our breathing technique. So we're going to be doing one of two breathing practices. And these are two breaths that have the same effect. They're cooling breaths. And one is called sheetali. The other one is called sheetkari. And half sheetali is you make a roll with your tongue, and genetically half the population just can't do that, and that's not a big deal. So we have sheetkari, which has the same effect, but you're going to use your teeth to help create the roll in your tongue. Okay, so I'm going to get nice and close to the camera so you can see my face. So sheetali, we're going to make a taco with the tongue. So basically like that. So if you could do that with your face, amazing. That's what you're going to do. If that does not work for your body, no big deal. You're going to take your tongue and you're going to point the tip of your tongue to the back of your mouth, and you're actually going to use the top of your teeth to gently press down on that tongue to create that rolling shape. So it looks kind of like that, okay? So those are your choices. You're going to make taco tongue, or you're going to make, you can use your teeth to press down. And then just do a practice one real quick. So you're going to inhale through your mouth. So you create the shape with your tongue, the taco, or biting down gently with your tongue, and then slowly inhale. And then as you exhale, seal your lips, blow out through your nose. Good job. Let's see that one more time. Exhale through your nose. So that's how it works. That's what it looks like. And so we're going to tap into ourselves, and then we're going to go into that breath for just about 5 or 6 rounds. If you're feeling a little under the weather today, if you have low blood pressure, please just stick to a simple, deep meditative breath. But otherwise, pick your sheetali, your taco tongue, or your sheetkari, making that rolled taco. But let's begin with rubbing our hands together. Feel yourself in a nice, comfortable seat. Ground down evenly through both sit bones, and then rise up through your spine, and gently draw your chin back to lengthen through the back of your spine. Bring stillness to your hands. And then your hands could be either your heart center, or maybe they come down onto your lap with your palms facing up to receive, your palms facing down to ground and center into you just a little bit more. And then option to soften your gaze, or maybe even close your eyes here for a minute. And just start to really see and feel yourself here on your mat, in your space for yoga practice, for asana practice. And just take a little notice of your body, noticing the weight of your sit bones, your feet on the mat or on your chair, the lengthening, lifting of your spine. Notice any temperature differentials in your body, any softness, any tightness. And now start to come into awareness of your breath. And just start by noticing, just observing the natural tendencies of your breathing this morning. And just notice, is it deep, long, shallow? Again, no need to judge, just your only role here is to observe what is at this moment. Are you breathing in through your nostrils Or are you breathing in through your mouth? And if you're breathing in through your nostrils, is there one nostril that is a little bit more dominant? Are you breathing in through the right or the left? Just notice, just observe. There's no right way to breathe. And just notice the cadence, the length of your breath. Feel the air flowing in either through your nostrils or through your mouth. And then feel that release of your belly and your chest as the air flows back out. Now from here, friends, we're going to move into our sheetali or our sheetkari. So let's take a nice collective inhale to center, just in through your nose or your mouth. And an exhale. And make your shape with your tongue, so either the taco tongue or bite down gently on the roof of your mouth and start to inhale through your mouth, through that tube of your tongue. Slow and controlled. And then exhale through your nose. And again, through the taco. Seal your lips, exhale through your nose. Take 4 more rounds on your own. Find your own pace of inhaling through that straw you've created, making that little tube of your tongue. Not holding too deep or too pronounced. It should be relaxing and soothing to breathe in and out. And then release your exhales through your nose. A few more rounds. And then when you finish, just find a place of calm, of peace, of silence, just seated in your easy Sukhasana pose. Beautiful. And then, my friends, if your eyes are closed, you are welcome to flutter them gently open. Staying in your easy seated pose, ground down with your sit bones, lift up, inhale, raise your fingertips up nice and high, stretch upward with your fingertips, and then let your shoulders fall down away from your ears. Take one more inhale as you lengthen through both sides of your body. And then exhale, side stretch over to your right. Drop your right hand down to the mat and then send your left arm up and over. Press a little bit more solidly, squarely with your left sit bone to stretch and lengthen through your left side body. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, release. And let's come back up to center. Inhale, stretch up tall. Move your fingertips towards the ceiling as you drop your sit bones down towards the earth. Inhale. Exhale, side stretch over to your left. Drop your left arm down and reach, growing long through both sides of your body as you draw your right fingertips up and over. Rotate your right shoulder back slightly so you square your shoulders and get that stretch through your right ribs. Take an inhale here. And an exhale, release. Inhale back to center, stretch up. Exhale, arms back down towards the mat. And then make your way to a tabletop here. A little cat-cow onto your hands and your knees. So from here, separate your feet hips width and then draw your knees underneath your hips and your wrists underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. Engage your belly in for a little support to your spine. Inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly down towards the mat. Lift your hips up. Shine your heart forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and lift your chin. Take one more inhale here to stretch through your front body. Exhale, cat pose. Tuck your pelvis, tuck your chin. Root your hands down into the mat to spread your shoulder blades wide apart and shift your spine towards the ceiling. And then take just a few more rounds on your own. Find a little breath to movement here. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Find a little rhythmic wave along your spine. We'll just do a few more and meet back at our tabletop in 4, 3, 2, and one. Beautiful job, everyone. From here, draw your abs up and in, press into your hands, and then send your right leg back. So straighten through your right leg. Keep the toes down on the mat for a moment. And as you press your toes down, feel your right quad engage and lift off your kneecap. Beautiful job. Wrap your outer right hip in, press down through your right hand and your left knee, the bent knee. And then as you inhale, lift your left arm up off the mat, thumb towards the sky, and turn on your tricep by rotating your arm outward. And then maybe your back toes, your right toes stay down on the earth, or maybe you squeeze your right glute and you lift your heel up. Continue to draw your abs in towards your spine as you root down with your right hand, your left knee to find that support, that grounding. Inhale here. Exhale, come back to your tabletop. So strong. And then wag your tail side to side here. We'll do the other side. So begin by sticking your left toes back and behind you. Stretch out long. Maybe flex through that foot to get a little stretch through your calf. And then as you root down with your toes, feel your quad turn on, draw your abs up and in, and then extend your right arm out. Bird dog on this side. And maybe you stay right here with your left toes down, or perhaps you engage your left glute and your left quad to lift your heel up off the mat. Feel that wrapping of your supportive, grounded leg. Inhale here. Exhale, come down to your tabletop. And once again, little wag of your tail, just to center things. Draw your toes together, bring your knees a little bit wider apart, and then shift your hips up towards the sky as you walk your hands forward and drop your chest down. Some modified child's pose, kind of a puppy pose. So as you continue to walk your fingertips forward, let your heart sink low, and maybe your head rests down on the mat. Keep your hips lifted. And then take a moment to breathe in here, allowing your chest to drop down. And a little stretch to come through your armpits. Keep walking your fingertips forward, lifting your hips back and up. Nice big inhale in here to your back ribs. And then as you exhale, release, sigh it out. Beautiful job. Gently rise up to your tabletop one more time. Walk your hands back in line underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. Tuck your toes and separate your feet hips width. Draw your abs in towards your spine. Inhale here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up. And pause here. So this is the first down dog of class. So pedal your feet out, bend one knee as you straighten the other leg. Just back and forth, side to side. And add in any other movements that feel good. Maybe your hips shift side to side here. Root down evenly into the ball, send weight into the ball mound of your pointer finger and your thumb to take the weight a little bit less into your wrists. Rotate your inner thighs towards the back of your space and draw your hips up towards the sky. Find a little stillness in your down dog if you have not already. Take a nice big inhale here. And an exhale, settle in this first down dog. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And then as you inhale, come to the balls of your feet and bend your knees a lot. Gaze forward between your thumbs. And as you exhale, ragdoll, take a few giant steps. Travel to the top of your space. Keep your feet about hips width and bend your knees a lot here. So maybe even rest your torso on your thighs. And then ground down through your feet to lift your hips up a little higher. Get a little stretch through your back and your side body. Grab on to opposite elbows. And maybe sway side to side, shake your head, yes and no. And then release your hands down towards the mat. Root into your feet, tuck your tailbone under and start to roll up to standing nice and slow and steady and controlled. One vertebrae at a time. And roll your shoulders back and down, back up to our Samasthiti, standing at attention pose here. So you're at the top of your mat. Option to have your feet about hips width for a little more stability and grounding in your stance, or you could bring your big toes to touch with a sliver of space between your heels. And then feel that rooting down like a strong mountain, hands to heart center. And take a moment here, shift your gaze down, or maybe even close your eyes and just select an intention. What would you like to focus on in our time together? Maybe even a little more compassion or focus, peace, strength, anything. Maybe just practicing being in your body for the next 50 minutes. Whatever you want, let's seal it together. Nice deep inhale. Big open mouth exhale, sigh it out. And from here, friends, start to breathe in and out evenly through your nose and invoke your yogic breath, your ujjayi. So as you breathe in and out, evenly through your nose. Allow for a little more forcing of air past your throat as it comes in and out. It's almost like the sound of a fogging of a mirror, like a noise, but it's coming from your back of your throat, but breathing through your nose. And that's gonna help build your focus and your heat, your agni. Beautiful. And from here, let us flow. Flutter your eyes open. If they're closed, bring your hands down by your sides. Palms facing forward. Roll your shoulders back and down. Drop your tailbone. Lift your heart. Inhale, find your mountain pose. Lift your fingertips up high. Spin your pinky fingers forward so your armpits rotate in to lift and lengthen through your torso. Root down with your feet. Lift up through your torso. Inhale here. Exhale, chair pose with airplane arms. So sink your hips back like you're about to sit down. Move your weight to your heels. Zipper up your thighs. And then press your hands towards the back of the space. Squeeze your shoulder blades together as you lift your heart. And then draw your abs in and drop your tailbone down. Beautiful. Feel your glutes ignite and your hamstrings too as you press down. I'm going to show you the front view. So here's what it looks like, your chair from this pose. So I'm sitting down, maybe my thighs are together or perhaps they're apart, but either way, feel that hugging, wrapping in of your outer hips, your thighs, that squeezing support, super strong. Gorgeous job. From here, team, inhale, rise up to a back bend from your mountain pose. So stretch up and then drop your tailbone down as you lift your heart up and cactus your shoulder blades out. This is your inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge from your hips. Let your heart lead the way as you bend your knees as much as you need to. Bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Bring your hands to your shins. Pause here. Press your hands into your legs. Watch how my spine lengthens and straightens as my head comes forward. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, low lunge. Plant your palms and step your left leg back. And rock forward and back here for just a moment, waking up into your hips and your hamstrings. And then drop your back knee down to the earth, untuck your toes. Inhale, find a low crescent moon, rise up. Pause here. So the tendency here is to dump into your lower spine. So envision, if you will, drop your tailbone down, lift your hip points up, and then cinch your abs in towards your spine like a corset wrapping in. Hug your outer hips in to draw your thighs toward the midline. Now you have stability. Then bring your arms up, stretch. Gorgeous. Inhale here. Exhale, open twist. So bring your right arm back and your left arm forward and twist right from your belly button. Find a little opening ringing out along your spine. Continue to hug your thighs toward the midline of your mat. So strong. Inhale back to center. Low crescent moon. From here, friends, exhale, half splits. So shift your hips back. Bring your hands down towards the mat. So if you have a tighter hamstring, bend into this front knee. Okay, and then focus on shifting your right hip back, left hip forward. Keep flexing through your right toes, your front toes. And if you have more space, perhaps you're walking your hands back a little and straightening a little more for that hamstring. All right, but make sure this is feeling like a good stretch, not an ouch. If it's an ouch, that's your body asking you to back up just a little bit. So bend a little more into this knee. Keep your right toes flexed. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, come back to your low lunge. So shift your hips forward, bend into your front knee, plant your palms, tuck your back toes and lift your back knee. Inhale here. As you exhale, come back to a high plank. Step back. Maybe you're up on your toes, maybe you're down on your knees, but either way, root into your hands to turn on your chest and your abs. Roll your inner thighs towards the ceiling. And then inhale, come slightly forward, make a little space, keep your elbows tucked into your sides, exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. So maybe come to your knees for this, just to protect your shoulders. Keep your abs knitted in, come all the way down and tuck your toes. Coming into a few cobras here to warm up the heart and the back, walk your hands to your lower ribs and point your elbows up towards the sky. Zipper up your thighs, knit your abs in towards your spine. Inhale, cobra pose, roll your shoulders back. Rise up, squeeze along your back line. Press your pelvis into the mat. Send your tailbone towards your heels. Zipper your thighs up. Draw the crown of your head forward to lengthen the back of your neck. Inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. So strong, good job. We're gonna do 2 more of those. Just waking up the back body, opening the heart. Inhale, rise up, cobra pose. Zipper up those thighs, abs in. Head forward, tailbone back. Maybe you lift your feet, locust legs. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down. 1 more, just like that. Inhale, rise up, cobra. Maybe the feet lift. Perhaps your hands hover. Point your elbows towards the sky. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Kiss them together in the back. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. From here, friends, inhale, upward facing dog. Pull your heart forward as you start to straighten through your arms. Lift your legs up off the mat by pressing your feet into the ground, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, use your abs to lift your hips. Beautiful, take a breath here to reset, recenter, cool down. Every time we put our head below our heart, it helps cool the system down. So all of these folding poses are great for that. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees as you gaze forward between your thumbs. At the end of your exhale, forward fold. Step, or maybe you hop up to the top today. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the crown of your head forward, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, find your mountain pose. Root down with your feet. Lift your fingertips up high. Exhale, chair pose with airplane arms. Sweep your hands back. Draw your heart forward. Move your hips back. Shift the weight into your heels. Inhale, back bend, rise up through your mountain pose, and then drop your tailbone down, lift your heart, elbows out to the sides. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands to heart center, bend your knees as much as you need to, come on down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge on the other side. This time you're gonna step your right leg back and begin by shifting forward and back just to ease on into the sensations in your legs. Warm up through your hamstring, your hips, and then drop your back knee on down, untuck those toes. Rise up, low crescent moon. So again, find your foundation first. So wrap your outer hips in, feel those glutes ignite. Press down with the heel of your front foot, the shin of your back foot. Tuck and lift through your torso, and then arms come up. Inhale here, stretch. Exhale, open twist. Draw your left arm back, right arm forward, and stretch your fingertips front to back as you squeeze your thighs together. Feel the sensation of kissing your shoulder blades together in the back to twist you even deeper, wringing out along your belly button. Inhale, back to the center line, low crescent moon. And exhale, half split. So frame your front leg. And again, if things are tight in the hamstring, it's okay to have a nice bend. Flex through your left toes and then play around with it, moving forward and back just a little to get into that hamstring, that hip, that leg. Press down onto the mat to lengthen through your spine and then hinge from your hips. So you lengthen through your torso as you fold. Maybe you windshield wiper your foot or move back and forth, keep a bend, or just breathe into the sensation to help soften any tight areas. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, low lunge, come back to center, shift your hips forward, plant your palms, lift your back knee up. Inhale, high plank. Step on back. From here, come an inch forward, inhale here. Exhale, lower halfway down on your toes or maybe your knees. Abs in, come forward, pin your elbows into your sides so you lower halfway down. And then inhale, upward facing dog. Draw your heart forward, hands back. And from here, friends, drop your knees down if they're lifted, staying in your downward facing dog, or your upward facing dog rather. And then start to roll onto your left side as you draw your right knee out to the right. If this feels like too much on your back, come on down to your forearms. So come back to center, come down to your forearms, make a sphinx pose. Point your fingers forward, make an 11 with your hands. And then from here, roll onto your left side and gently send your right knee out to the right. And then start to roll back towards even hips, towards the mat. You feel a little stretch through your right hip. And if this doesn't feel good, maybe you're staying a little bit more rotated on the left side with your knee bent, and you can ease into it and use your right hand to help control the motion of how deep you go into those hips. So take a nice inhale here, and an exhale. Roll back to your left side once again to help release your right leg, and then we're gonna head to the other side. So come back to center, through the center, find your arms in your sphinx or your upward facing dog. Roll onto your right side this time. Make that space to bring your left knee up to the side, to the left. And then perhaps you roll back to square your hips towards the earth once again. And then as you're sitting here stretching, can you breathe into those deep hip areas? Gently draw your tailbone towards your feet to help lengthen through your spine and press into the earth with your hands or your forearms to lift your heart. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, gently release. So roll to your right side to make that space to bring your left leg back in line. Hands by your lower ribs if they were not there already. Point your elbows up, just like for cobra pose. And then we're gonna rise up to an upward facing dog. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Take a nice big inhale here. And then a big open mouth exhale. Let some air out. Let some heat go. Come back to your yogic breath, your ujjayi breath. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees as you gaze forward between your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. So sink your hips back as you lift your heart high. So we did chair with airplane. Now all we're really doing here is changing the arms to lift them up towards the sky. So root into your heels, zipper up your thighs. Feel your glutes and your hamstrings strong and steady. Drop your tailbone as you lift your heart. Inhale here. Exhale, chair with airplane. Same legs. Arms back. Beautiful. From here, move your weight over to your right leg. Your right leg's becoming strong. Wrap your outer hip in. Your left leg's becoming weightless. Inhale, one leg mountain. Rise up. Stamp into your right leg. Think mountain pose in your right leg. And then your knee lifts on the left side. Flex through your left toes. Continue to knit your abs in towards your spine. So strong, stable core. Stretch your fingertips up high. Inhale. Exhale, crescent pose with airplane arms. So bring your hands through heart center here. As you start to draw your crown of your head forward, kick your left leg back. And you can go slow and steady and controlled for a little balance challenge. You're eventually gonna step your left leg back and then draw your hands back, pointing away towards the backside wall. Kiss your shoulder blades together in the back. Draw your heart forward. So we were just here, but with our back knee down on the earth. So engage your abs in, hug your outer hips in, and draw your thighs toward the midline. That's your stable base. Yes, inhale, crescent pose, rise up with your hands. Drop your tailbone down to lift your heart. Rotate your armpits towards each other to lengthen. Gorgeous job. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, double lunge, hands to heart center, and then hover your back knee down just a few inches off the mat. This is an opportunity certainly for strength, but also to stretch the front of your back quad, of your left quad. So really continue to drop the tailbone down, lift the hip points up, and then root into the heel of your front foot, ball of your back foot. Feel that little stretch as you strengthen. So strong. We rise up from here, team. Inhale, warrior two. So come up, windmill open, and then bend into your right knee. I'm gonna switch sides so you can see my face. So find your warrior two base here. So bend into your front knee, knee over your ankle. If it's heading forward, that's gonna hurt your knee over time. So send it back and then send a little more weight to the heel of your front foot, outer knife edge of your back foot. Root down evenly front to back. Shoulders over your hips, stretch. Your fingertips front to back and gaze over your right fingertips. And settle into this pose. Just feel the rooting of your feet, the strength of your legs. Notice your breath in this moment, in this pose. Take a big inhale here. And then as you exhale, extended side angle. Hinge from your hips and reach forward with your fingertips. When you can't reach any further, bring your right arm down, draw your left fingertips up to the sky and twist from your belly button. Open your heart out. And pause here. Same footing. And then you can press your lower arm into your inner thigh to get a little stretch. Stretch your top fingertips up high, or maybe you stretch your top fingertips up in front of you, kind of to the upper corner. And you're creating a long line of energy from the back outer knife edge of your back foot to your fingertips of your top arm. Inhale here, and exhale. Let's rise up. Inhale, reverse triangle. Press into both feet. Draw your abs in, swap your arms. Straighten through your front leg and move the weight a little more to the ball of your front foot now. And then draw your right hip point forward to square your hips off. One more inhale here. And then exhale, step it back to downward facing dog. Maybe come through a vinyasa, high to low plank. So you plant your palms, send both toes to the top of your mat and step your right leg back. And then you can either shift your hips right back to down dog, or if you want a little extra action today, vinyasa, come forward in your plank pose, lower halfway down. And then draw your heart forward. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, reset, recenter. We're purposefully not doing too many chaturangas, these high to low planks today, because we are focusing on cooling, and those tend to have a heating effect. So with intention, but you get to choose if you want a few more of those, a little more action this morning, take it. If not, skip it. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees as you gaze between your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Step or hop, travel to the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Sink your hips back, lift your heart high. Pause here. Feel that strong and steadiness through your legs. Root into your heels, inhale. Exhale, chair with airplane arms. Heart forward, hands back. Move the weight over to your left hip now. Feel your left leg strong and steady, your right leg becoming weightless. Inhale, one leg mountain. Lift your right knee high. And pause here. Flex through your right foot. And then drop that right hip down in line with the left. Stamp into your left leg and squeeze your left glute. Lift your left thigh off your kneecap, strong, steady. Inhale here. Exhale, crescent pose with airplane arms. So kick your right leg back, draw your heart forward. Cinch your abs up and in like a corset towards your spine. Maybe you go slow and steady, and eventually you step it back. And from here, there's still an angle. So I'm still hinging from my hips, drawing my abs in so I can lengthen through my spine. So feel that sensation of lengthening. And then inhale, regular crescent pose. This looks just like it did when the back knee was on the mat, right? So same idea. Hug your outer hips in, drop your tailbone down to lengthen and lift your heart. Inhale here. Exhale, double lunge, hands to heart center. Hover your back knee down. Really drop your tailbone down. Roll your shoulders back to lift your heart. Press your hands into one another for a little strength and stability. Gorgeous job. Hug your thighs toward the midline of your mat. And inhale, warrior two. Windmill open. Fan your back foot out about 45 degrees. Bend into your front knee. So for me, sometimes that means lengthening the stance front to back so that I can find a nice position where my knee can be over my ankle and I'm still getting an opening through my hips and stability front to back. So feel into your feet and then rise up, feel into your knees. Do you need to adjust anything to make it feel strong and yet comfortable at the same time? And then stretch through your fingertips. Gaze over your left fingertips here. Settle in. Come back to your intention. What is your focus for this night, this time together? Breathe into that intention. Breathe in and feel that warrior-like strength and ease in this posture. Inhale here. Exhale, extended side angle. Hinge from your hips and reach forward. Then tick-tock your arms down to 6, up to 12. Twist from your belly button, open your heart. Root down and sink into your left hip this time. You can use this lower arm to really press in, to open a little more. Continue to root into the outer knife edge of your back foot to give you that stability front to back. And then maybe extend your right fingertips, your top fingertips to the top of your space with that long line of energy. We rise from here, friends. Inhale, reverse triangle. Stand up, flip your arms. Gently straighten through your front leg. Keep a micro bend in your front knee to protect your knee. Take one more inhale and stretch through your left ribs. Exhale, find your way to downward facing dog. So maybe you come through your vinyasa, plant your palms, step your left leg back, go through your plank, high to low. Chaturanga Dandasana is what that's called. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a nice big inhale and a nice big exhale. Let it go. We're gonna take that in a little flow, a little breath to movement. So move slow, move steady. Enjoy the ride. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees as you gaze forward. At the end of your exhale, forward fold. Step or hop to the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's go. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, chair with airplane arms. Move your weight to your right leg first. Inhale, one leg mountain with your left knee lifting. Squeeze your glutes. Exhale, crescent pose with airplane arms. Kick slowly back with your left leg as you draw your heart forward, knit your abs up and in. Push your hands to the back of the space. Inhale, crescent pose, lift your arms high, drop your tailbone. Exhale, double lunge, sink your back knee down, hands to heart center. Inhale, warrior two, windmill open, bend into your right knee. Exhale, extended side angle, reach forward, shine your heart out. Inhale, reverse triangle, rise up as you swap your arms and straighten through your front leg. Then exhale, pause here, triangle pose. So come here, parallel your arms. Keep that front leg straight. Take a little parallel in your arms. Hinge from your hips as you come forward. And then drop your right arm down. It's gonna look for your shin, maybe your thigh, maybe a block or a chair, and then you rise up and twist out. Side will turn around so you can see. If you do not have a block at home and you wanna reach down, you can either reach down with your shin or part of your leg that feels good. If that feels supportive and steady, great. If not, you could use a prop. So if you have a chair or a wall or something that can give you that extra lift. So we're focusing on, again, always grounding down through your feet and then twist outward and open from your belly button. Keep a micro bend in your front knee. Inhale here and exhale. Inhale, reverse triangle, rise back up. And exhale, head to downward facing dog. Perhaps you come through vinyasa for that or step back. So through vinyasa. Inhale through your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. We're gonna do the other side. So take a few breaths to reset, recenter. We'll do the same thing, other side. Next inhale, come to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees as you gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the crown of your head forward, flatten, straighten through your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, chair with airplane arms. Shift the weight to your left leg this time. Inhale, one leg mountain, lift your right knee up. Flex through your right toes, drop your tailbone down. Exhale, crescent pose with airplane arms. Slow and steady, controlled. Draw your right leg back. Step your right leg down. Inhale, regular crescent pose, lift your heart. Hug your outer hips in. Exhale, double lunge, hands to heart center. Hover your back knee down. Inhale, warrior two, windmill open. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse triangle. And now we'll come into triangle on this side. Exhale, triangle pose. So first parallel your arms, straighten through your front leg. Hinge from your hips. So see how I'm lengthening through both sides of my torso. Then drop your left arm down, right arm up, twist out. So maybe this left hand is here, or maybe you find a chair to help give you a little bit of extra assistance. Whatever feels good in your body. I'm gonna choose my calf today. As you stamp down through both your feet, can you twist a little bit more open from your navel centered, a little more ringing out? Kiss your shoulder blades together in the back to open through your heart. And then we'll come on up. Inhale, reverse triangle. And exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Point both toes forward or outward. So now you're facing towards the long edge of your mat, toes out, heels in. Inhale to a star pose, stretch your fingertips high. Exhale, goddess pose or horse pose. Just sink your hips down, send your knees out in line with your toes, and pause here. Hands to heart center for a moment. Feel the weight drop into your heels. Squeeze your glutes to open your knees. Lift your heart by dropping your tailbone. Beautiful job. Take an inhale here. And an exhale. Bring your hands to your thighs. From here, as you inhale, draw the crown of your head forward. Send your booty back just a little bit. Press your hands into your legs to stretch. One more inhale. Exhale, little twist. Twist to your right. Bend into your left elbow, maybe your right elbow too. And use your left hand to press your thigh away and twist you a little bit deeper, ringing along your spine. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhale back to center. Still hovering forward. Exhale, twist to the other side. Press your right hand into your inner thigh. Maybe you bend your elbows to help facilitate a deeper twist along your spine. Should feel nice and open through your hips, your belly. Take one more inhale and an exhale. We'll come back to center. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands to your hips, drop your tailbone down, still in your goddess pose. Nice thigh work here. Inhale, rise up, star. Exhale, sink back to goddess. We're gonna flow just a few breaths here. Nice little plie, if you will. Inhale, rise back up to your star, stretch. Exhale, goddess pose, sink it low. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Beautiful, one more time, inhale, star. And this time, friends, exhale, bring your hands to your hips, heel toe your feet together. So you're back to your center line. And we'll do a little bit fun balance pose, a little tree pose. So we've been opening our hips and wrapping our hips around to find that stable, strong leg tree trunk. So let's start with the right leg up. So move all your weight over to your left side. Feel your left quad lift off your kneecap. Feel your outer glute raise in. Your right leg is becoming weightless. And maybe you stay right here. Just your right heel lifts off the ground. And then gently rotate your knee outward. So that's one option. You could also bring your right foot to your standing calf. Knee still pointing a little bit more outward. That's option two. Or perhaps you play around with bringing that foot all the way up to your thigh. If that feels okay, just try not to put your foot right on your knee joint. Knees don't generally appreciate that. And then from here, maybe your hands come to heart center or to your hips. Continue to root. Your tree roots are your left foot, your left heel, your left toes. Your tree trunk is your thigh and your calf. Strong and steady, your glutes wrapping around and out. Ignited in your core. And then maybe you grow your tree for the last breath or two. Stretch your fingertips up high. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, come on down. Shake those legs out. Beautiful job. All right. Let's be even trees. Let's find a tree on the other side. So begin with your foundation. Root your feet. Root all 5 toes down. Root the heel down of your right leg. Feel your glute wrap around and ignite. Feel your quad lift up. Strong leg. And then lift your left heel up off the mat. Perhaps you stay right here. Or perhaps you bring your foot to your calf. Or bring it all the way up. Find your tree and note that your tree might look different on this side than the other side. That is just fine and dandy. Different day, different body, different side. Sometimes different body. Continue to feel the grounding sensation in your right leg, the lifting sensation of your left leg, the lengthening of your torso. Stretch your fingertips high to grow your tree if that feels good and safe in your body today. Continue to keep your focus steady on something you know won't move. Beautiful job, team. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, gently release, shake those legs out. Good job. We're going to come on down to the mat. You may choose how you want to get there. If you would like to do one more vinyasa, amazing. If not, we're going to play with a little tuck and roll. So you can come through your plank pose, high to low. I'm going to take us through a tuck and roll so you can follow along with me. If you want, inhale, rise up, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, tuck and curl. So bring your hands to the mat, lift your heels up, bend your knees and put your thighs and your chest together like a little ball with your body. Tuck your nose down, feel a little rounding through your spine here. And then we're gonna rock back onto our sit bones. So maybe for you today, that means your hands come behind and facilitate your hips coming down. Or if you wanna play with a little balance challenge opportunity, bring your arms up in front of you. And once again, shift your hips back, round through your spine, roll your weight back, and you're gonna come on down. So you find your way to the floor, and then face towards the wide edges of your mat. We're gonna begin with a little butterfly pose. So bring the soles of your feet together, And that's gonna mean a different thing for different bodies. So maybe your knees are up like this and you hug them, and then you can play around with letting your knees drop down a little bit, all right? Continue to ground evenly through your sit bones. And maybe for you, that means your feet are out a little bit in front of you. The closer your feet are to your groin, the tighter this stretches, the deeper. So find the stretch that feels good and stretchy, but not ouch in your body. And then you can bring your hands to your feet, and perhaps you play around with using your thumbs to pry your soles of your feet towards the ceiling. That feels good. If not, don't do it. You could give yourself a little foot massage. Feel into your feet here. And then root down with your sit bones, rise up through your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to hinge from your hips and reach forward. Use your hands on your feet to pull your chest down. And you're gonna find the place that feels suitable for your hips and your body today. And maybe it's just an inch or two, that's okay. If you feel any sensation in your knees, either bring your body less forward, bring your feet more away from your body, more forward, and then come down. That just makes a little more space in your knees. There you go, and take a nice big inhale here. And a nice big exhale. Gorgeous, come back on out. And from here, now you're gonna take your right knee and bring it in as close to your groin as feels good, okay? And then left leg is gonna extend out long. So you're kind of making a V with your legs. If your right knee is okay with it, work towards bringing your heel to your groin, but your knee might not appreciate that today. So maybe your foot's a little bit more out in front away so that you have a little more ease and space for your knee, all right? So you find your spot for the right leg, flex through your left toes, straighten leg, and if there's a little bend in that knee, that's just fine too. Ground down, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, twist towards the straight leg, still stretched up. Inhale, stretch up again. Exhale, come forward towards that straight leg. And then at some point when you're done reaching forward, when your body says, I'm done here, then you bring your arms down. So you're in a little bit of a twist and a little bit of a stretch. And then you can play around using your hands here. Keep your left toes flexed. You can use these hands to walk, to enhance your twist. You can use these hands to pull your chest a little closer to your leg, or some combination of the two. And so you find what feels good, and then utilize your breath as well. Every inhale is an excellent opportunity to find length through your spine. Every exhale, a wonderful chance to release and twist deeper or fall closer to your thigh. Continue to ground down through your back sit bone, your right sit bone, the one near the bent knee. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, gently walk up your leg. Use your hands to help press you back up to the center to make it nice and easeful. Maybe twist and wring out just a little bit with your shoulders. And then gently release your right knee and bring your left knee in. So folding your left knee in, finding the position that works for your left knee, again, might look different than the right side. The closer you bring your foot to your groin, the tighter it is on your knee. So you find a position close by or maybe a little more forward. Then ground evenly with your sit bones. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, twist towards your right leg, the straight leg. Flex your right toes. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, pull forward like I'm pulling on your hands to lengthen through your side body. Then bring your hands down. So once again, your hands are your little worker bees to help you twist a little deeper and pull your torso a little closer to your thigh. Continue to sit your left sit bone down further into the mat to stretch through your left side body more. And breathe into any of those tight nooks and crannies. Take an inhale here. And then gently exhale. Use your hands to walk back up to center. And then send that leg out and shake both your knees. Let's go down the middle just to even things out. So keeping your legs wide, knowing that the more wide apart they are, the more tight the stretch will be. So you find your V shape that fits your body. Ground down evenly through your sit bones, stretch up, inhale. Exhale, forward, hold, fold, hinge from your hips and come forward first. You can bend your knees as much as you need to here. And then eventually your hands will come down to the mat. And maybe you stay right here and focus on a straight spine. Maybe you play around walking your hands forward just a little bit more. Again, your hands gripping your fingertips into the earth gives you that extra little bit of advantage to pull your torso down. Only if it feels good in your back and your knees, of course. Draw the crown of your head forward to tuck your chin slightly to lengthen your back of your neck. Inhale here. Exhale, surrender a little bit more. And then gently use your hands to walk yourself back up. Upright. Use your hands to bring your legs together and spin to find yourself lengthwise on your mat. We're gonna roll down onto our back. So use your hands to guide yourself down slow and easy. Find a neutral spine here. If there's a big lift in your lower belly, tuck your belly under. And then walk your feet a little closer to your hips, as close as they want to come today. Bring your hands down by your hips. Press your hands down into the earth. Root your heels down. Scoop your lower belly under. Press up, bridge pose. Not here long. Root into your heels to turn on your hamstrings and lift your hips. Send your tailbone towards your knees. Let your shoulders relax into the mat. Isometrically draw your heels back towards your shoulders. Inhale here. And exhale gently. Release down. One vertebrae at a time, slow and steady. And then hug both knees into your chest. Make a little ball with your body, rock side to side, little back massage here. And then from here, my friends, keep your right leg hugged in and send your left leg either foot on the mat, knee bent, if that feels good. Or if you have a little more space through your front body this morning, you might experiment with straightening through your left leg. Press your left thigh to the earth as you pull your right knee to your right armpit. Rotate your ankle in a circle. Inhale here. Exhale, supine twist. Use your hands to guide your knee across your body. Stack your right hip over your left hip. And then finish the twist by extending your right fingertips out behind you. Maybe you gaze over your fingertips. Or maybe you close your eyes and soften. If that feels okay. Option now to release your yogic breath, release that ujjayi, and start to shift your breathing to something more of rest, of ease. So looking for those longer inhales and exhales, slow and steady. Nice big inhales, nice big exhales. One more inhale here. And then as you exhale, come back to center, gently and easy. Hug both knees into your chest. Rock side to side just to even out your spine. And then we'll head to the other side. So hug your left leg in, right foot to the mat with knee bent, or right leg long. Press your thigh to the mat. And hug your left knee in towards your left armpit. Either way, rotate your left ankle. Continue to slow your breathing down just a little bit more. Inhale. And exhale, supine twist. Ring out along your spine. Stack your left hip over your right. Extend your left fingertips behind you, gaze behind you. Option to close your eyes. As we soften down towards Shavasana, it's the perfect cooling pose. Just lying there and resting. Come back to your intention one more time. How can you give yourself a little bit more of that intention, both on the mat and off? Gently, my friends, come back to center. One final time, roll onto your back, hug your knees to your nose and squeeze. And then gently bring your head down. Let's find happy baby. Flex your feet, bring your feet up towards the ceiling, and use your hands to grab onto whatever is available. So maybe that's the back of your thighs and you pull your knees down using your hands on your thighs. Or maybe you grab onto the back outsides of your feet or your toes. And wherever you've grabbed, use your hands to pull your legs down. And as you pull down, feel your spine press into the earth. And perhaps you rock side to side if that feels good. And then come back to stillness if you're not there already. Release your legs one last time, one final time. Make that ball with your body. Hug your nose into your knees and give yourself a little love, a little squeeze. And thank yourself for spending an hour just on you in your yoga class, taking care of you because you are so worth it. And then take one more big hug and squeeze everything in, your fingers, your ears, your eyes, your nose, your toes. And exhale, Shavasana. Release everything down. Find a comfortable resting pose. So let your legs come out a little wider. Let your hands come out a little wider away from your hips. And take any last wiggles that feel appropriate to help you really release and soften. Let your thoughts just drift on by like a boat floating on the sea. I will close us in a few minutes, but if you want to stay longer, by all means, you can remain in your Shavasana. Enjoy your rest, my friends. Sometimes the weather gets hot, the temperature is hot. Sometimes life gets spicy, and even though it's not hot outside, it feels hot inside. We're boiling in our temper or our stress. In any of these circumstances, putting your head below your heart, taking a few deep breaths, using your cooling breath, can all help activate your parasympathetic nervous system, calm your nerves, calm your blood pressure. Beautiful tools to have in your toolbox of life, on and off your mat. And so, my friends, if you want to stay in your Shavasana and continue to rest, please do so. If you're ready to re-emerge, start to bring your awareness back to this space. And start to deepen your breath, just a little bit. And introduce any little movements that feel good and supportive. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate them in your wrists and ankles in a circle. Perhaps you gently move your head side to side to introduce some action to your neck. And then letting that all go to stillness and release. Inhale, stretch your hands above your head. A beautiful stretch into wonderful, incredible you. And then gently releasing your arms down. Make your way to a comfortable seat. Perhaps you keep your eyes closed. Hands to your lap, or perhaps hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. The teacher in me honors and appreciates the teacher in each and every one of you. You always make me smile and teach me so much. I appreciate you. I hope you have a blessed and beautiful rest of your day. Sat Nam. Namaste. Thank you all very much.